On behalf of the President and CEO and the Board of Directors for the Center for Rural Development, we would like to welcome you back to this amazing facility. We have had an outstanding week, and we are going to share many of those highlights with you very soon. But before we get started, there are several folks that I would like to thank that has made this week such a success. First of all, our President, Lonnie Lawson, and all of the Center staff. Will you guys please stand? It truly takes a team effort to pull off this week and to make the most of this experience for our students. And I appreciate each thing that you guys do to contribute, and thank you. Laura and Corey, they are both backstage here, making sure that graduation goes well and that all of our presentations flow. So let's give them a round of applause, even though you can't see them. South Kentucky RECC, for the annual golf tournament that they hold each year for us, that provides funding and makes this program possible. The Moan Family Foundation for a generous donation. All week long, we've used amazing laptops that were donated by Dell Computers. Western Kentucky University and University of Kentucky for providing instruction for our engineering major. Karen Adams with AHEC and Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital and Somerset Community College for teaching our healthcare major. WYMT and Joe Brashear for teaching our video production major, and all of our other speakers that have visited us throughout the week. Parents, we thank you for supporting these students and for making them the young adults that they are. You have done an amazing job. You need a standing ovation, actually. And most importantly, the 37 wonderful individuals sitting in the first 3 rows. And thank each and every one of you for being here tonight at this graduation event. You are really going to enjoy what we have in store for you this evening. First, I would like to introduce tonight's guest speaker. This man has true dedication for the youth of Southern and Eastern Kentucky. He shows his passion for our future leaders by securing summer opportunities for our future leaders of our region each year. He spent each day working hands-on with the scholars, from teaching ballroom dancing to showing the importance of giving back in their home communities through community service, and working hands-on at the Team Leadership Center. Please introduce and welcome my boss and the president of the Center for Rural Development, Lonnie Lawson.
So can you see why I love what I do? What an absolutely great group of scholars we've had this week. It's absolutely amazing. Welcome back to the Center for Rural Development. We have had a great week. A couple of changes that we did this year that has had a little bit of an effect on the program. First of all, we added 12 scholars. We went from 60 scholars a year to 72 scholars. It's been a little bit more of a challenge because of the staffing that we have, but we've managed that one. The other change that we made is we changed one of the majors from information technology to healthcare. And I think it's been an absolutely amazing change, and you're going to see a presentation on that very shortly, but I actually think it's been really, really good for the scholars. It's good for the program, and we've added a whole lot of value to the program. Parents, thank you again for sharing your sons and daughters with us this week. We have truly, truly enjoyed having them. It's amazing that you can get so attached to someone in a week's time, but boy, we're going to miss you guys like crazy. But parents, thank you again. If you don't mind, I'm going to talk to the scholars for a few minutes, though, okay? Scholars, I guess it's my task to delay your graduation just a little bit, and hopefully some little nugget that I say will be worth the time that I spend delaying your graduation, but it truly has been a great week. From some of the speakers that we had, Dr. Bill Lucky, president of Lindsey Wilson College, talked to you about different types of leadership. Vice President Michael Colgrove from University of the Cumberlands, and he talked about leaders past and present and different leadership styles. The NASA video conference, it's one of the favorite things that we always do, that I really enjoy those NASA video conferences. And then your speaker today, Kenny Davis, what an amazing story. I've heard that story for many, many years, and it never ceases to touch my heartstrings. But we've had an amazing week, some great, great speakers. Some of those speakers were kind of philosophical, but I want to take a different approach. I really want to get down more on a day-to-day kind of a level and talk to you about some things that, if someone had said these things to me when I was your age, maybe it would have made a difference in my life. Who knows? But at least I'm going to try a few. If you get one nugget out of it, I'll be absolutely thrilled. Scholars, from this point forth, you absolutely must take an active role in your education. You've had your parents pushing you all these years, and I'm sure they pushed you very hard, or you wouldn't be here this evening. You've had principals, you've had teachers, you've had advisors pushing you. But you're to the point now where you absolutely must take an active role in deciding where it is you want to go, what it is you want to do with your life. I see so many young people, they'll study really hard freshman, sophomore, and maybe even sometimes junior year, and then they've got all their credits, so they want to coast that senior year. And I'm telling you, that's the wrong time to coast, especially if you're going on to college, and I know all of you are going on to college. That is the wrong time to coast, because then you're going to find yourself on that college campus and you're going to hit a brick wall. Only you know what you want to do with your life. Now, you can have a lot of advisors, but as one of the speakers said to you this week, find what it is you're passionate about and go after it with everything you've got. Don't coast that senior year. Really ramp up that senior year and get ready for your college education, and I really think it'll pay off in the long run. Next one, get to know yourself and be true to yourself. Try to figure out who you really are, who you want to be, what you want to do with your life, and again, go after it with everything you've got. You know, I actually was always really good in math, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with my life, but I got a math scholarship to EKU, and it really helped me make that decision, because my education was paid for, but it was a natural fit anyway. And then I ended up doing what I absolutely love doing, and that's the job I have today. But find what it is you're passionate about. Kenny Davis told you today, if you find yourself in a job that really seems like a job and you hate to go to work every day, change it. Life is too short to be miserable, so change it and find what it is you're passionate about. Be the very best you can be. Sometimes I know growing up seems a little scary. You don't know what's going to happen after you go to get out of high school and get out of college and go out in the real world and find a job. But it reminds me of a story I heard once. This bright young man straight out of college, and he was going to set the world on fire. I mean, he was going to capture the world. So he applies to this large firm, gets a job. First week on the job, he goes in to his boss, and his boss said, I've got a project for you. I want you to look at our marketing strategy, and I want you to come back to me with a report of how we can improve our market strategy so that we can increase our sales. So the young man goes away, and boy, he's on the internet, he's doing all his research, calls up a college professor and getting advice from a college professor, and he's just really proud of the work that he did. He brings his report back in, hands it to his boss. His boss glances at it and says, is this your best work? Well, he's devastated. He doesn't know what to say. I mean, I've spent a lot of time on this. What do you mean is this my best work? And he said, well, I guess not. I mean, I'll take it back and I'll do more. So he goes back again. He gets on the internet again, and he looks at marketing strategies all over the country. He calls more college professors, calls people that he knows in the industry, and this time he knows he's nailed it. He comes back into his boss's office and proudly hands it to him. And again, his boss just glances at it and says, "Is this your best work?" This time he's totally devastated. He said, "Sir, perhaps I misunderstood. I mean, I did all the research, I talked to folks, and I got what I thought you asked me for. Maybe if you could be more specific, I could give you what you're looking for." And his boss said, "I'm not saying there's anything wrong with your work. What I'm saying to you is, every project that I hand to you, I want you to give me your best work. Every single time that you go out, give it your very best work, and you'll be a great success in life. Don't always doubt yourself. Give it your best work, and that way you don't have to worry about it after that. Whatever you do in life, make it your best work." Spend more time listening. Now, I see a lot of folks that think their value is measured in how many words they have to say. I will tell you that if you would spend more time listening, when you have a response, it's probably going to be more well thought out, probably going to be more relevant, and you can say it in a whole lot less words if you will just listen. And I'm not talking about just listening to the words. I'm talking about watching your body language. Does it make you uneasy? Watching your facial expressions, watching other people's facial expressions, and really listening, really getting in tune with what it is that you're listening to. And again, I think it will really help you in life if you'll spend more time listening and maybe less time talking. The next one, broaden your horizons. I asked the question in one of our sessions this week, how many of you had taken an international mission trip, and there were a few of you that had. I encourage you, if you get the opportunity, go out and explore the world and see what the rest of the world is, because that is truly who you're competing against. You're not competing against the next county. You're not competing against the next state. You're competing against the world. So if you don't know what's going on in China, if you don't know what's going on in India, if you don't know what's going on in Pakistan, you need to know what's going on in the rest of the world, because that is truly who you're going to be competing against. So you really need to look and see what's going on in the world that you're actually going to have to compete against. I had the good fortune in 2009 to take a mission trip to Brazil, and it was one of the most eye-opening and one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had. We went into a little city, and actually it's not a little city, it's actually a fairly large city, 380,000 folks, but we went into a city called Santarém, got on a boat, we slept in hammocks, went up the Amazon River for a little bit, and then we went up another tributary called the Tapajós River, and we went about 12 hours up this river, out in the middle of nowhere. They had no water, they had no electricity, they lived in, I have outbuildings that are better than the houses that they actually lived in. But these were the most contented folks I have ever run across in my life, and it was just an absolutely amazing, life-changing experience. It's not all about the money. It really isn't. Sometimes we think it is, but it's not all about the money. So broaden your horizons, see how the rest of the world lives, and then go out there and make a difference. And lastly, don't forget where you came from. Or as Dr. Bill Lucky said to you, bloom where you're planted. I hear so many people, I run across them every day, that seem to want to apologize for being from Eastern Kentucky. I am so proud to be a Kentuckian. I am so proud that I live and work in Eastern Kentucky, and I tell people everywhere I go that I'm from Eastern Kentucky. And scholars, you're probably going to raise your eyebrows at this one, but you will, I guarantee you, you will be more like your parents than you ever care to imagine. When I was your age, that's the last thing I wanted to be, was like my parents. I wanted to be as different as I possibly could. But as you get older and more mature, you will see that you really will be a whole lot like your parents. And all of those little things that you needle your parents about, when you have children, they're going to needle you about those exact same things. So your parents are actually pretty neat. They've made great sacrifices for you to get where you are. So give them a break, help them out a little bit, because they've actually done a lot of sacrifices for you to get to where you are. Scholars, you've heard it over and over this week. Go out there and make a difference. You are an absolutely amazing group that I've absolutely had a great, great deal of joy spending time with you this week, getting to know you. And I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss each and every one of you. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being Rogers Scholars. At this time, Congressman Rogers is a huge, huge supporter of this program. And he couldn't be here this evening, but he did want to send you a message, Scholars. So if you would, listen to the message from Congressman Rogers.